This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Let's jump into the show while we're here. It's King of the Ring 1996. The Wrestling Observer readers gave it 84.3% thumbs up, only 8.6% thumbs in the middle, and 7.1% thumbs down. The show's a sellout. 8,762 fans paying a gate of $142,568. The prior year's King of the Ring, the infamous Philadelphia show, drew a much bigger crowd. 14,181 fans paying a big 311 grand. But still, as bad as that show is remembered, it's important to note for the context, because as Eric says on 83 Weeks all the time, context is king. The most recent pay-per-view, which was In Your House, Beware of Dog, only had a $63,000 house. So that's where we are. By the way, I want to remind you, King of the Ring 95 did 180,000 buys. We're down here in 96 to 158,000 buys. So it's fascinating to look into the WWF business in that it seems like houses are up. We're selling out. We're setting records at the Rosemont, but it's not exactly translating to pay-per-view buys. Now, going back, whenever I talk to folks who've been around the business for a long, long time, Jim, they'll say, well, summer was a tough draw in the wrestling business. Do you subscribe to that?
Oh, not as fervently as they do.
Okay.
If you got what they want to see, then the fans will come. They come on holidays, they come in the summer, they come in the winter. If the product is hot and something is topical, and you can move the needle to the extent that one will get off their couch, get in their car, drive to the arena, buy a ticket, come sit down. If it's what they want to see, they'll do it. But I will say that with people, you can go back and say, well, families are traveling, the kids are out of school. There's a lot of mobility there. People are doing things, but I always thought that played into our hand. If kids are out of school, that means they ain't got to go to school the next day. So those house shows in the middle of the week has no excuse not to draw, because maybe mom and dad got to go to work, but the kids are not going to school. So I'm a big believer that our business is so unique that if you do have a hot main event, and that's what it's got to be, a hot main event with a baby face they believe in and a heel that they truly believe can beat this individual, then you're going to be okay. But it has some, it does have some daunting issues. And I'm not just denigrating or saying negative shit about somebody that thinks the summertime is a kiss of death. It can be. Any month can be the kiss of death if you don't have what the audience wants to see.
Let's get to the show itself. You're in a 3-man booth here with Vince McMahon and Owen Hart. How'd you like working with Owen?
Loved it.
Good.
Loved it, Conrad. Owen and I also worked a show together in South Africa.
That's right.
It exists someplace, and it was really an underrated show, and we discovered how talented he was in that area as well. He had a great future ahead of him as a broadcaster if he had chosen to go that route and he had not had the tragedy that killed him. Owen really talented, and he was a real good analyst. I thought he was fun. He was controversial. He had good timing. All the skill set that he took to the ring, as far as when to do this, when to do that, understanding the psychology of a match, he did real well. And he did it with hardly any training. I mean, any practice. Practice. We're talking about practice. Robert Iverson. So people said, who's that? Google his son of a bitch. He's a basketball player. It's pretty good too. Crossover dribble. He invented it. Owen.
Listeners know who Allen Iverson is. I think.
What's that?
I think everybody listening to this is probably my age, and they know Allen Iverson.
Everybody in Alabama knows who Allen Iverson is.
Well, everybody listening to this show in Alabama.
Okay. All right. I'll defer to your wisdom. And
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.